How's it going, Sunbird Nation? I thought you guys might find this interesting, so I thought I'd make a quick video of it. In preparation to pull the transmission out of the Sunbird, you have to realize that nothing will be supporting this section of the engine. You're taking out this mount right here to get the transmission out, and that's really all there is that supports it. I mean, there's a link on the bottom, but that's just a front to back link. Doesn't hold the engine up really. You have to take it off anyway to get the tranny out. So what I bought was a engine beam to that box right there from Harbor Freight, your friends at Harbor Freight. It goes across the engine compartment horizontally, and the idea is you put it from fender lip to fender lip, you hang a chain down, and you hold the engine up. But if it goes this way, you're right in my way. GM would have you use I think it's a Kent Moore engine support kit. It was screwed to the top of the strut studs. That'll have like a piece that bolted on each side, and then a beam would sit across them. And then another beam would go this way, and it would locate at the front of the engine compartment on top of the radiator support, and you would hang your chains down from there to hold the engine up. That's better, but looking on eBay, they're kind of pricey. For some reason, the beam itself that goes across is like $100. So I started buying pieces to do it, and then I had an inspiration. I had bought this piece right here. This is adjustable front landing gear. This is supposed to locate in this area. And this is the triangulated piece. It would go to that beam that goes across the two struts, and then you can adjust it left or right and out, whatever. It has a pin you pull, get your height, whatever. And then I thought, well, you know what? If I was just make a piece to come off my strut bar, I have a strut bar. I made this piece to fit on there. Just pin it through, clamp it on, bolt it through, whatever. And then that piece goes across. I can just bridge them across and then hang a ratchet strap or something on the intake manifold to hold it up. There's not a ton of weight there, so it should do what I want. So I think it'll work. Let me, I mean, it's gonna be a lot simpler than using a cross beam and a bunch of triangulated shit. I mean, you still have the mount at the front to hold the engine up. So it's not gonna go anywhere. You have one on this side too, there's two of them. So it can't go anywhere. On this side, just the back can fall. So all I really gotta do is grab it more toward the distributor. So that's what I'm gonna fabricate today, and then we can move on to get this thing apart. So follow along and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, so initially I was gonna use angle iron for my bar that goes front to back, because getting this square tube to fit inside this square tube was a little snug. Angle iron you can just lay on the sides of it and get the dimension you need and weld it and you're done. But the angle iron I bought is only 3 feet long. I was trying to make this beam out of one piece rather than waste the other piece. I got 2 of them. But it needs to be a little longer. It's 36 inches long. Cut that in half, it's 18 inches long. I really need about 20 inches to get the depth on this thing I wanted. I really want to go up to like at least here. 18 inches puts you right around here. So I'm like 1 bolt hole shy. I don't want this thing teeter-tottering and getting weak, so I figured I'd see how much it would take to get this thing to accept the plunge of this gizmo. And it didn't take as much as I thought. Probably 15 minutes with this die grinder. And this isn't lubed up or anything, it's just dry. It fits, it goes all the way in. I had to use this one to start it, and then this long guy here to finish it. And I just took out the, there's a seam inside the tube. Look, you can do it one-handed. Almost. Come on, you bitch, get out of there. There we go. There was a seam on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. You can see the silhouette of it. So I take the seam out, and then I just ran my grinder all around to clean it up. I could probably use a smaller bit to clean that up, but it goes in and out pretty easily, so I don't think it's necessary. If I switch hands, you can see it's my dominant hand, and it goes in pretty easy. And it comes out real easy too, so you can see that, but there you go. And I'll, when I'm done, I can lube it up, so it'll work really, really well. So this is the first phase. I have my receiver. Now I gotta go to the car, get the measurement, get the angle, cut it off, and move on to step 2 or 3 or whatever step I'm in. So stay tuned. Cutting off the steel in my $40 piece of shit bandsaw. Hope I got my $40 worth out of it. Well, this ended up being very exciting. So let me give you some advice. If someone offers you a bandsaw for 40 bucks, probably don't buy it. I had to rotate this thing 3 times to keep the blade straight. Yikes. Well, now that debacle's over, the best I can say about this saw is it will cut steel. That's about it. Anybody want to buy a bandsaw? 40 bucks. It cuts steel. What a bargain. All right, let's size this guy up and make my marks and start to relieve it so it'll do what I want it to do. All right, made my first relief cut on the back to try to get an approximation of how it's going to sit. And I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's not 90 degrees on the floor, but, you know, as I like to say, we ain't building a watch here, you know? All this is a support beam. All it's going to do is stay here, hold the engine up, and not break and make me sad. So I think this is fine. I don't know how much you want to screw around, you know? So let me get to stepping here on tack welding crap together and go on to the next phase. Woohoo, taking shape. All right, it's done. I drilled the holes for the foot to adjust. I'm not gonna get too close to the welds because I'm not that proud of them. But it works, it ain't gonna break, it'll be fine. Fully adjustable, it's hot, I'm not gonna touch it. I don't know if any of you guys are welding files and you get off on MIG welders, but this is a Miller 215. Part of the problem I'm having with these welds is that I'm not used to this welder. I bought this thing a couple of years ago, and then my brother moved houses, so he had to give up some of the machinery he had, and one of the things he had was my old MIG welder. So it was a Lincoln, I believe, or a Marquette, that's what it was Marquette. So I was using that for mild steel. The Marquette has a much different feel than this Miller. This is a Miller 215, has auto set, so you can plug in what size steel you're working on, what size wire you got, and it'll tell you the voltage, the speed, all that crap. Or you can do it manual, whatever you want. So I find that the setting they give you, an auto set, it gives me too thin of a bead. So I just adjust it for myself on manual. But anyway, it works, it ain't gonna break. It'll do what I want it to do. I'm just gonna cool it down and put it in the car, and that's it. So this is how you make this thing. I mean, I'll show you one more shot of it on the car installed. All right, that's it. It's on and it's done. The bracket should work fine. I got the ratchet strap under the intake manifold and then back around that side, which was a pain in the ass getting it by the EGR valve and stuff. What a pain in the balls that was. But I got it. I don't know how I'm gonna get it back out, but that's a problem for another day. So it's taut. It's supporting the, you can see it's moving a little, but you know, it should be fine. I mean, we'll find out when I pull the tranny out, when I pull the mount off rather. When I disconnect this mount, if this bar bends in the center, then I know my project was a failure, but I still have that Hopper Freight gizmo in the box up there if I need it. So there you go, it's done, and it should function. So thanks for riding along with me this time, and hopefully I won't make the news. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time.